Welcome to the MD Solutions Optimax Training Series, List View Shortcuts. In this session, we will discuss keyboard shortcuts for navigating list views. Now, before we get started, it is very typical to want to grab the mouse and click away through software. In Optimax, you will find that using the mouse slows you down, and once you master the use of shortcuts using your keyboard, you will find that you can get through the program much faster. Now let's take a look at the basics. Moving between rows. To move between cells and rows, use the arrow, tab, home, and page up or page down keys. To move to the next cell in the list, you can use one of these options. Press your tab key or press the right arrow key. To move to the previous cell, you can use one of these options. Press Shift and Tab, or press the left arrow key. To move to the first record in the list, you will use Control Home. To move to the last record in the list, you can use Control End. To move through the list, do one of these options. Page up to move up the list, or page down to move down the list. You can hit Enter on your keyboard, and it will open up any selected record in the list. You can also create a new record from any list view. For instance, you can create a new billing from the billing list view, or you can create a new patient or a new billing from the patient list view. To create a new billing from the billing list view, you can do one of these options. Control B or Control N. A new billing will be created for the selected record and will be a copy of that record with a new date of service. To create a new billing from the patient list view, you can do one of the following from the patient list. Control B, and a new billing will be created for the patient selected. Or to create a new patient from the patient list, you can use Control N, and a new patient can be created. Note that Control N will create a new record in any Optimax list view. If there is ever a time that you do not see something updated in a list view, you may need to refresh any changes that you have made in the record's details. To refresh the list, hit F5 on your keyboard. Now, there will be times where you need to view or update information. For example, case information that is related to a billing or maybe patient information needs to be updated to send a claim again. You can very easily open the objects related to the billing in the list view without moving to the patient record, then the case record, etc. To drill in to a related object, locate the record that needs to be updated. Refer to the list view filter session for more information on locating records in the system. Use the arrow keys to move to the field that has the related object that needs to be updated. Use Control-Shift-O on the selected field. The related record opens and any changes can be made at this point. To save any changes, use one of these two options. Control-S to save the record, but it will leave it open, or Control-Enter saves and closes the record and takes you back to the list view. Now, there may also be times where we need to select multiple rows. This is necessary for batching claims in a billing list or maybe editing multiple billings at once. To select multiple rows, do one of the following. To select a record while keeping the selected record, use Control-Shift to select the record and then keep the Control down and use the up or down arrows to move to additional fields. hitting the space bar to select additional records. To select all records, use Control-A. To select a continuous range of records, use Shift and arrow. One last thing to look at for shortcuts is that Optimax keeps tabs on where you've been in the system. You can move between these tabs without ever touching your mouse. To move between these tabs, do the following. Hold down the Control and Tab key until the tab menu comes up. Then release only the Tab key. Then use the arrow keys to move between the open tabs. When the tab is selected that you want to move to, release the Control key and that tab will open. By mastering the keyboard shortcut techniques in Optimax, you will greatly improve your user experience, productivity, and output.